the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
For CCI no Mokasai President Bia any Ghana Hanum say John Dramani Mahama upon Watia and Nachi. I just say or day a year and Funini be crab to dra. I just say Mohoko Sala, Professor Jinano Pokwajima, no free honor. Na and just say Togo on dinner ni a chair so good you may be elho. Mahama a two quino and just say Panifua canon so Bia a theatre and Nachi. I just a lawyer be Ajibradin Nsem-Pii to be an lawyer Massama Wakano. Which them say Leak Bagbin, a woman say upon so a from my name now. Lawyer Mitchell say last week Muho Bagbin as our Bagana, Emma is a Sunday and a Bagbin as our fly or call out be anybody a Bagbin a call. Papano and just one crowd beer and so I just see a Casano, a Panini beer any or my name. Chief Justice or also over her children so Mahama a suspendino. I must say no. Panini beer any or my gun and Hanum see. Now, my lawyer HM say, as it stands now, I wouldn't come on. Be beer bet me as see, Sir President any or my team. Now, so you need another police need to solicit and was say my jaw minor, Mahama, Katogo, we, Kaha, or pian to me and casting beer. Chief Justice over her children who are more suspending of for. And some are cost or my name and yin, and some are say free penny for a catcher and yin, Ghana's young here, but be on minor, Ebeka question, Yenny and John, Mumian Tiolo, and some of the two.
But me that say, answer Speaker of Parliament, or Chief Justice in the hot. Chief Justice, you are suspending to Speaker of Parliament in Waiwana, Nemusini, because Speaker of Parliament, no say a war. Oh, okay. Ubenya na bedi actually. Also more first second. Yeah. Or more how. Okay. But my information I stand to be corrected. I say Speaker no cry by na week no san koye. Me I stand to be corrected. Say no cry, enya no cry. It at the time President Speaker Sakona President Yahweh. And if the President intended to leave this country and I wanted to leave this country, I was sent the letter no kobo Speaker man. And I say, also Speaker no they are not na name no. I'm sorry first or more the friend. Yeah. First deputy speaker. Speaker. It also about first deputy speaker now. Amane. First deputy speaker no second deputy speaker and so on. Omo kura ni one ma ubenya majority and minority leaders and so on. Then you can inform them. Krata no the obetime dia ko. No more and so ama. Na the attorney say Honorable Joe Ajahu Nsem-Pii sa. Na the Supreme Court kan say ebasa was say nipa na obabesia na osue oath of allegiance publicly. That means obesue ama Ghana man nyina hwe say ono ne the president at the moment. Ehho no obi ehun ni say eno ne ade a Supreme Court de aba. They said na esan wa lapses kakra. I said the man for ye law, constitutional law, any theory of law no na question e bi say ehun say na ko ba say osue ni eniwie na president no so ko no kasa afi dem afa country na. And also these are some of the lapses are.
Say me what's why we
no say oh madam Fortuna Utogo and Orlando don't step in this country again because I'm now the commander-in-chief of Ghana Armed Forces. So much more allegiance to me.
Well, if you want to say there is that probability.
There is that probability when the theory of law, when you study the jurisprudence, the legal theory. And these are questions to ask. And to people who say it's lawyer, emrana. You see,
I be who say because
one day.
Yes.
One day, Obibe suye in no akacha say me my for mine. But you read President Mahama CCI, which is very, very, very dangerous. KK, Mami Kancho, as it stands now, CCI wohi, Manu Simina, so I don't wish that evil. I don't wish Ghana evil. But CCI said military man be and our police ni be a caswa for minor obi antimi blemono. The reason being that as it stands now, there is no president in Ghana. And within a minute, anything at all can happen to this country, which is very, very dangerous. So we are in a constitutional.
But so there's the national security apparatus.
Who is the national security? International security. There is a constitutional crisis, and based on the crisis created by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, obi betimi afa country no and year within a minute. Me no work say a minute. E betimi aba say ubon sa afi the alarm aswa. I say obi are taking over the country. When it happens like that, who is to be blamed? Who is blamable? You see, NDC government, that is His Excellency President Mahama, is to be blamed, and he is blamable. The reason being that already Article 60 clause 1. Yan kind ho. Or say there shall be a vice president of Ghana who shall perform such function as may be assigned to him by this constitution by the president. The ever is a president to kwan krana, the vice president no obetima yedumadia was so ye. Ya no kasi ni baby a vice president or the atiane so yare e wo lande. Ye hunu ye maye consistent brief HRS president ni say na hoden e vice president no. Na mame hwe. Say yen hwe ade bi wo article 60 clause 1, 60, 11 and 12. Article 60. And I could deal for no omo say omo from constitutional law mine and also constitutional.
Oh, I know it's in order.
Now, you have Article 60, clause 11 and 12, clause 1, subclause 11 and 12. Article 60, 11, or say, where the president and the vice president are both unable to perform the functions of the president, the Speaker of Parliament shall perform those functions until the president or the vice president is able to perform those functions or a new president assumes office as the case may be. The constitution is clearly what spelled out. I say where the president and the vice president are both unable, inability na near can on inability in the Supreme Court that the Bachi team say when the president is what or sick, when the president is unable to perform the function, when the president has traveled outside the jurisdiction of this country or to kwaya ni inability. Anna 6011 can say where the president and the vice president are both unable. The Speaker of Parliament shall perform those functions. Speaker also swear to kwine. On I also perform a function. No be perform a function now. I was say in publicly oath of allegiance. Said the president swear na swear no as president now then will take you over. And no be no the judge ni or no bujo aja who say or no yan swear ni no take you over. It was here swear no be say there be say swear ni India next wa be president one president no call to me now so say why ain't yan swear ni but don't take you over. Anna so omukọ na Supreme Court is no. Yan swear ni India next said obey be antimi the president. And the Supreme Court na this decision e buy. Omo de aba omo ye nyansafo nti o se agetumu because Supreme Court obeka bia no enye kra na it meets the aspirations of the good people.
Enti yesu ya de na as a president ni ho na e bia vice ni ho say speaker do be take over e say you strike ma speaker
yes ni
sanso na speaker ni ho no ma na just say chief justice then so ono so
na chief justice no so a was suspended no and the constitution so can say the chief justice. It will be so argument.
Acting says he say we have an acting.
Me problem about that when it comes to constitutional interpretation or if there is a rival meaning placed on that particular provision. Me as a lawyer say me say or you acting or say the chief justice na and the acting chief justice na chief justice I suspended on suit me ye. It yama on take you over. But to be a literal meaning no. So chim say constitution na nka ne sa no ene ye fa ne literal legalistic literal meaning nti do no so be kan say e kan the chief justice and can the acting chief justice it is a chief justice there you need chief justice or my musesia because you are suspended no and you na acting chief justice no so ontimi 80 president man
serious we are very serious
we are in a constitutional crisis at the moment. There is no leader. The country is what is there without a leader, and I'm telling you, say, your military, your police force, are very good at this time. They remaining neutral. A person protect your mind. But be better me trigger within a minute. Say your mom pay such a thing should happen to the good people of Ghana. But be better me trigger ma. Obia take you over say country no wafa because
at the time when we take you look how many
that is so. And it say any radia. Then the pointer ye making say why na at the fort na ba sa edipa no be take you on mine no onye boni bia because at that time no be me defended ho at that time I catch us said there was no leader and I may take you over in order to prevent say obi meton share so into montomobo 6 months and sani atoaba. So when it happens like that who is to be blamed? Eba now let's go to Article 60 clause 112. The speaker shall, before commencing to perform the functions of the president under clause 11, speaker no, you says no, president ni wana vice president suni wa speaker no ansana obey juma to say the president no of this article take and subscribe the oath set out in relation to the office of the president. So Article 60 clause 1 sub clause 12. Article 60 clause 1 sub clause what? 12. Actually say speaker now taking over from the president. No. So we take you over. No, your president I was say or swear oath of allegiance. And no ma Joe Ajahu case no. Supreme Court to use Article 60 112 was say I was say yes swear publicly and Sani Ajawa to Mr. President. Now speaker ni ha, vice president ni ha, president ni ha. Chief Justice has been suspended. Acting Chief Justice na wo ho. Ono so I on swear oath of allegiance biya. President Deko, you name so the letter crack or parliament. Eti President Mahama, wabe President Pen, unim sa de we nyina. Ene na de ntino wanye. Ene na acting Chief Justice no yi no. Akwa ni gidie wonu mu say acting Chief Justice metimi de machi agya. Ami aso no uni. So the country is there without a leader. Manencho. So minority na sama omo kano. I said there is a constitution.
But when you're sorry, acting Chief Justice, na nasenka Chief Justice, I don't know why the Bema na aswe.
It is only when a president abo parliament na manye. Na parliament na ya aware. In fact, say speaker ni hano. And no na sa acting Chief Justice na Chief Justice parliament then ya mabegu akwam ni abeswe.
Okay.
And no kra no e was here in such a way say dey ememu and a minute mpa ho. Enu ti na obemu say parliament no ebewu a na president bi ebekwa anadwo ubon se parliament na transe anadwo no ma take over from parliament na wo ho dada no ye ma de nche so because ade che so a the country will be vacant eno no mundu ubon se president no so omo wen anadwo no a parliament ni take over na no patututu na yesiam ni hand over ma president na president dada no kofi na che se country no a minute kura ma abra country na da ho kwa because a basis a obi betimi dia take over the country. It is Obi taking over the country. I wouldn't know quarter. Obeka said there was no leader. Obenya lawyer for a moment defending at that time. That is why constitutional crisis and not bear move save the country. 18 months and 2 years time near Tuaba. When you have Tobiana Anajo, because he is the commander in chief of Ghana Armed Forces. Ubiana, lawyer say Bonsuno and Crawford, Ubiana, Ubian Kasa, ma take over the country. Enti me yesi anase me yesi. Into Biana Kopim say ebeba. Now, Mami say if the president does something like that, one called by the constitutional provision. Now let's go to Article 69 clause 1 and 2. President has
okay, because I don't know be baby sound because now minority no impeachment.
But only the problem. On bet me impeach no, but only padodo or then parliament. And on a how 69. Article 69 clause 1 and 2. Let's have a look at it. Article 69. Article 69 clause 1 and 2.
Okay.
Seen some lawyers call.
All right.
Article 69 clause 1 and 2. 69 clause 1 and 2.
Okay, the president. Okay.
Clause 1 it says that the president shall be removed from office if he is found in accordance with the provision of this article. A, to have acted in willful what violation. To have acted in willful violation of the oath of allegiance and the presidential oath set out in the second schedule, or in willful violation of any other provision of this constitution. It is a precedent.
So these are the remedies.
These are the procedure.
The procedure, okay.
The procedure to remove the president. Yep. The president shall be removed from office if he is found in accordance with the provision of this article. As 1, to have acted in willful violation of the oath. So on one or share best in a small kind of protect the constitution way. May say, may dim run our constitution. So I know. And now presidential oath now I can was second schedule of this constitution where Niswa. And now say willful violation of any provision. So provision ya now was sent komo bisua in one of the constitution a basis I'll bet me a removal. Let's go to Article 69 clause 1b. Yeah, or the president to have conducted himself in a manner and that's why DB which brings or is likely to bring the high office of the president. Why are DB at the high office of the president into disrepute and I said ridicule or contempt? Why are DB at the asari and I say I'm for buo, I'm for my omen. enti constitution no kura when ni so ni any president enye obu wan fa bu amon or yankoso or prejudicial or inimical to the economy or the security of the state. Why are they be say bia me fa say wa mu man ni ye anase ade a wo ye no inimical to the economy or ya ade bia me fa say ema economy ni bu no enye sikasemato basa and to be incapable of performing the functions of office by reason of infirmity of body or mind and now say bia wo ya ade bi say on say e bia na adwene mu sebe enna ho na yesa wa stroke bi achi nti na adwene mu na ho wo yesa na na etimi di ni free ho. But first one na meta to have acted in willful violation of the oath of allegiance your swear no and I say presidential oath set out in the second schedule or in willful violation of any other provision of this constitution. Violation of any other provision. Eti provision be our constitution how wolfle na ni dan ho ana wanya sa de no. E besa yetimi
because why president pay?
Yes.
Obi a why president pay da bugina bu to be job by no go say.
Yen kan clause 2 ho. Ya wo ya afi obetimi e de remove no. De to aso. President or say for the purposes of the removal from office of the president a notice in writing e wo say wo chro echo signed by not less than 1/3 of all other members of the parliament. Signed by not less than 1/3. 1/3. Etuche mwa wasa 1/3. Etimi yeden a sign. Normally stating that the conduct or the physical or the mental capacity of the president be investigated or any other grounds specified in clause 1 of this article. Say be allegiance ni nyamani nyina wanfa anya adwuma no. Mo be sign 1/3 be sign our parliament. These are some of the things I'm waiting media impeaching no. Now ko parliament we say a ono ne nkrofo na dos na sa 1/3 no be there wenya e dey in afro. But as it stands now the country is there without a leader. Things fall apart.
Good to be ena donkume wo brache bedwafie omo efre yensem chirofo ede nsem etu dwada sa nsem we bi eka ho se empo president no ne waye no ehu papa se president ni ho ne vice president aye maame jena no pokwajiba ne ho dodo no awa ma no ni se ne nyina enim Leak Bagbin crowd here mi ni ba bi crowd wo but we too kwan na chief justice so no ya suspended on ye wo acting and no lawyer eka no say no oban no obi betumi attest no say adia no oni ho no ma chief justice they say swear in enti ko swear in a year acting chief justice obi so to be taken one bidim say no na president Mahama person avoid it enti na kule we dey 3 days memfa a year kuntura se enkomra and 10 na member to a year bi dwumadie so there we don't know but lawyer lawyer but lawyer bento adanka okay baby bento ade emra sisia na yentoa dwumadie no so a year lawyer na
we know clearly spelled out constitution ma ye amendment bi awa the only amendment I lacuna. Once a lawyer focus a lacuna, and say Tokrobi oha. Was here fixe. So the only lacuna what the 1992 constitutions are provision when anyone say. Ebia dia wo swear in no. At that time, on me declare say state near country near Nadia. 81 so president no ko now my awafa. 81 so say ye review no. What I say the Bema one year swear in na president no outside the jurisdiction of this country. You are only acting within the time frame. President in the day free, but the country does not belong to you. There should be provision also insert to a constitution so that you be who no be so a challenger can say be any ho HRS at that time I know be any ano. But yes, you me in crime take you over. No way the President Mahama there a clear violation because on the NC will be a no. Because one president na muniha, a vice president niha, speaker of parliament niha, chief justice I suspended no, acting chief justice na waha, or no so cry and swear in. Now by constitutional provision no cry na, or say the chief justice, one can say the acting chief justice, it's also a questionable. Not just a